Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about plenty of things that I care about, such as crochet, knitting, books, or like race cars, whatever I fancy talking about in the moment. Today is part one of a two-part series I'm planning where I will be talking about my yarn stash. This is not going to be a comprehensive look at my yarn stash. I will only really be discussing things that I have a solid plan for, or items that I have anything to actually say about, because I think it would be really boring if I just held up a bag and was like, oh yeah, look at this green, I bought this on accident, and then I just decided the colors didn't match very well, so I'm not using this for anything and I don't know what it's for. Yeah, that's boring. Like, I'm not gonna do that. So the first yarn we're going to talk about here today is a yarn that I have had a project idea for quite a while, and I've pulled it out like 3 times and put it in like the boxes that I keep all the yarn I am either actively using or like going to use soon, but for whatever reason I just ran out of time between different holidays and other plans that had more solid deadlines, and I never actually got to really jump into this project. But the yarn I'm using for it is Happy Place by Hobbii, and it's a collaboration between Hobbii and TL Yarn Crafts. I have the yellow color number 6 in both the melange and the solid yellow color. I have both because I have a vision. The vision is inspired by this sample that Tony made where she contrasts the solid yellow color with the melange yellow color, and I just had a brain blast and I thought it would be so cute to do this sort of flower color work sweater where like this is the solid background and then just the flowers are a very simple, like a doodle like design. I'll throw up the image I sort of have created as like a basic sketch for what I have in mind. This is not usable at this point, but I have a plan. Don't trust me. Just the flower and like this melange color, and just create sort of a monochrome sweater vest, but with just a slight contrast. And I know this is gonna look so cute. I'm in love with the gauge swatch I did. I'm using the universal vest pattern by May Crochet. So that crochet pattern like is basically like a crochet knitting Tunisian crochet pattern where you just plug in the details of your gauge swatch and it'll basically tell you what to do. So I made my gauge swatch. I'm doing just a very simple V-stitch with a 4mm hook, and then I'm doing a herringbone double crochet, or sorry, half double crochet trim. So I did both as a swatch, and I just think it's so pretty and it's just going to turn out so good, and I'm really excited about this project. This is definitely going to happen early next year. It needs, like, I need to get it out of my head. I need to get this yarn out of the box, and we just need to see this through because it's gonna be my magnum opus. I can tell you that right now. This next bit of yarn is our first of many that I bought for a different project, and that project's not going to work out, so now I'm using it for something else. And that is this bag of paint box cotton in the color Vintage Pink. This is a very pretty dark pink color. It's almost like, it's like a mix between pink and terracotta. It's very pretty, and this camera is definitely not doing it justice. And it's really hard to gauge what color it actually is in real life because obviously it's not showing up well in this camera, but the pictures on the websites are also not the best representation of this color way possible, which is why it's not being used for the original project it was going to be for, which is the Greta sweater by Kukuruku Crochets. I've bought yarn and tried to make that fucking Greta sweater multiple times. That is the first thing I ever wanted to crochet, and just it's been a failure every single time. So at this point, I'm backing off. Like, I don't know if I'll ever actually make that sweater. Like, I still really like the design, and it's not an issue with the actual like pattern. It's just like I feel like that specific project is cursed for me. Anyway, so what I will actually be making with this yarn is the Golden Hour Wrap by Manatee Squares. I have enough of this color to make the short sleeve version, which is the one I want. So this will obviously be a summer project. It's a wrap top that's sort of a filet crochet situation where you have two panels that come down from the shoulder and intersect across the chest, and then are sewn together with a button with like a band. Then I have so much of this fucking Stitch Please worsted superwash yarn from Premier Yarns left over, that I'm actually pissed off about it. I don't even think this is all the yarn I have left over. I think some of it is in the other bin full of acrylic because it couldn't fit in this bin. And I'm actually annoyed about this because I used the manufacturer's pattern. I made this really nice granny square pattern. I will put the picture of me wearing it up. I'll put the link in the description. And I actually did enjoy working on the pattern. Like, I really loved that vest. However, the yarn estimate was ridiculously off to the point I feel lied to. Like, obviously I didn't do the rainbow band, but for me, in order to not do the rainbow band, I still had to have enough of the white yarn left over that I had white yarn to use on the band instead of these colors. So a truly ludicrous amount of extra yarn was listed on the pattern that you don't actually need. I feel like I have like 2 extra of each one. And then I also have leftovers of the original ball that I used for the squares. Like, I didn't use all the yarn to do all the squares. And I have extra squares too. That's the fucking ridiculous thing. So I just have so much extra of this yarn. And I don't really have like an aspiration to use it. Like, at some point, I probably will do something with it. Maybe I'll make hats or some shit. Just hold it double and make some sort of beanie, and just to get it out of my house. But it's either hats or I'll do a hexie cardigan with it. I haven't decided yet, and I probably won't decide for quite a bit more time. This next bit of yarn I'm going to talk about is from Hobbii. It is Friends Wool. I have quite a couple colors. So here's the general palette I'm working with here. Just a quick summary of the colors I have here. The colors are maroon, which is number 49, dark magenta 48, pink 47, rose 44, pumpkin 31, buckthorn 29, mulberry 55, dusty rose 52, hint of pink 50. That's just a general summary of the color names. Like I said, these were originally intended for my mood blanket. Now I've changed my mind. And what I'm going to actually use them for is the Gracie jumper by Holly Woodward Designs. I love this jumper design. It looks fairly simple, but it also looks like it fits her pretty well. It's a granny stitch design. And I love the colors she has in her original pattern photography. If circumstances were different, there was a point in my life where I was like, I'm just gonna buy that exact same yarn, and that's what I'm gonna make this sweater out of. But when I had to stop my mood blanket because I no longer had an idea what my mood was during the month of April, I decided that I really did enjoy the color palette I was using for my mood blanket, and I decided that I wanted to use it for that sweater. So that is what I will be doing. I'm actually really looking forward to this project. I just hope I can get to it soon, before winter ends, which is kind of a ridiculous thing to say as we are in December, but I plan things on a scale of multiple months, and I would really love to get to this, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. And that's tragic. It's tragic, ladies and gentlemen. So this last bit of yarn was originally purchased for the Meltdown sweater, and I'm blanking on the designer name, but I'll put it on the screen. But since then, I've sort of decided that I would rather use it for something else. The Meltdown sweater just has a lot of different types of stitches that sound a little bit exhausting to me in my current mindset. So I have decided to change my aspirations a little bit. These are the 3 colors I have. These are all Friends Cotton from Hobbii. And I chose these colors because I thought it would be so cute to do like a Scooby-Doo, like Mystery Machine color, like sweater. And the project I'm actually going to be making with these 3 is the Ada Top by Kukuruku Crochet, and that is a very like groovy, like 70s inspired vest with like flowers and things like that, and I just think it'll be so cute with this yarn. And then just from miscellaneous bins that are under my bed that mostly keep abandoned whips and like scraps of yarn, I have a couple pieces that I wanted to show you. First things first is this Bernat Fluffy yarn. I just love the color and the feeling of this. I want to make like a granny square cardigan with it. I just want to do like real quick like a bunch of those like solid granny square versions and then just stitch them together in a cardigan. I just think it'll be cute, and I think it'll be very comfy and squishy. I have this Caron Colorama Halo cake. I have 2 of these, and I bought these because they were on clearance, and I saw Passionate Kelsey make the wrap that is on like the patterns like is on the label, and I really liked it, and I want to make one too. So I bought one. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but I'll get to it eventually. And then I have plans for another shawl, which is going to be Tunisian crochet using this Premier Puzzle yarn. I also have another skein of this, and I want to make the Lamia wrap by TL Yarn Crafts. So that's going to be it for my yarn stash, at least for now, until the next video comes out. But I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to see the next video, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments down below. I love to hear from you guys. And I will see you at some point in the future, hopefully.